ThaBoxingvoice.com, live here with Frank Smith. How are you?
I'm very good. It's a lovely day here in sunny New York, and we're all here to have a little party on a rooftop.
We are. So, is this like Matchroom's version of a Memorial Day cookout? Today's
That's
Memorial
what it was.
Day.
That's what it was. We were going to do a barbecue, but they wouldn't let us. So
yeah,
you know,
rooftop.
we've got some drinks. We got a nice neon sign. It's going to be fun.
So, how's New York treating you?
Yeah, love it. Got in yesterday from Washington. Great week, great show there, obviously, and build up into this. Devin Haney looked unbelievable.
Yes.
At the heavyweights, Filip Hrgović got the win. Michael Hunza, Jessica McCaskill. So that was a great show at the weekend. And now coming into this weekend, stacked card from top to bottom.
Now, obviously, this card suffered a bit of issues with Gerald Miller, but it seems like Andy Ruiz was the perfect fit.
Yep.
And as the fight gets closer, he's talking more and more. Will he walk that walk? We don't know, but at least he's filling that void that Gerald Miller left, or do you feel the same?
Look, I think he's going to go in there, he's going to give it his everything. This means everything to him. His only loss came against Joseph Parker in a very close fight that many also believe he won. So he's got the skills, he's got the ability. Anthony Joshua's got to go in there and do the job he always does, but I believe Andy Ruiz is going to bring everything.
How difficult do you think it is for Joshua to change opponents and training camp, or at least game plan in training camp, mid-training camp?
Yeah, look, obviously it's not ideal preparation, but he's a professional. He has a great team around him. They've worked up a new game plan, and you know, he at this level, everything is a test. So he's going to go in there and he's going to be a professional as he always is. But it's not an ideal. You know, it's never ideal.
Now, how much do you know of Joey DeWelko?
Yeah, quite a lot. He's been on a few of our shows. Tough guy. Did a lot of sparring with AJ as well.
Yeah, he's the perfect sparring partner to mimic Andy Ruiz, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, was that a Matchroom thing, or is that solely AJ's trainer that pulls in sparring partners?
AJ's training team obviously worked with Eddie quite closely on it. You know, we do a lot of fights over here, so we've done quite a few with Joey now. So he was the right person for him, and it was great. It was great sparring for him.
He definitely was. So, obviously, you guys just put on a great show with Devin Haney. ESPN chose to say, is this boxing's next American sensation? Do you think Haney can fill those shoes? There's even comparisons to Floyd Mayweather after this performance.
Look, I think he's 20 years old, and you saw by the mature performance he put on a Saturday night, there is so much more to come. You know, he's had 20 fights at that age, and he's only going to keep growing, keep developing his skills. So yes, he has all of the attributes to go to the very top and become the next superstar of American boxing.
Now, the model for Dazn was at least 3 fights a year for their fighters. Is that the same for Haney, and will we be able to see that? So how soon will he be back? Yeah,
look, we're working on. We want to get Devin out as much as possible. He's young. I think we'll look to see him back out around August time. So yeah, we're going to keep him very busy, and that's what he needs to keep developing his skills. He wants to move very quickly. He'd take the world title shot tomorrow. But if that doesn't come right now, you know, if it comes in 2-3 fights, it's fine. He's a young guy, and he's got a lot of time to build in and become a multiple weight world champion.
I believe in the post-fight, or at least the headlines, Eddie is saying that they're going to put him in an eliminator. Never really heard of the guy who's going to be fighting an eliminator for, but the eliminator would be to eventually face the winner of Luke Campbell Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Haney is a sensation. We've heard the gym rumors, but from a promoter standpoint, wouldn't it be better to go the route you just said, 2-3 fights before a world title shot, just to introduce him to the American television public?
We have to be led by him as well. You know, our job is we work with our fighters. You know, we work for our fighters. We have to deliver the best for our fighters. He wants the biggest fights, but if it means that takes a little bit longer, because naturally, you know, Lomachenko's fighting Luke Campbell. The winner of that will probably have some other fights. So it could take a little bit of time, especially if one of them is then a unified champion, because obviously the mandatories go around in different orders. So I just think that the main focus is, it's not a rush. If it doesn't come in his next fight, it doesn't mean, you know, it's not going to come. It just means we can carry on building that start.
We were discussing possibilities on the podcast, and we thought, at least I thought, Yurokis Gamboa would be a good enough name, but vulnerable enough. Is that someone that you would be interested in? He isn't really tied to anyone, and if anyone, I think his last fight was a Golden Boy card when he really didn't get the win over Jason Sosa.
I think, look, he's got, as you said, he's got his WBC fight. against Abdullayev, which will come later.
Oh, so that's already...
Yeah,
because I thought you guys were petitioning to have that be the eliminator.
That is the eliminator.
Oh,
that fight.
Okay.
That fight will be. It's part of the WBC. The decision they released. So they obviously made Lomachenko against Luke Campbell, which hopefully we'll have more details on soon. And separately, obviously, Devin Haney against Abdullayev. I didn't say that very well.
I wouldn't even attempt to repeat it.
Yeah. I won't try again.
And is there any tentative time for that Haney eliminator with Abdullayev?
Yeah, we're looking, as I say, late August time, around that sort of period.
Now, with Haney, are you going to maybe look to put him back in Vegas where he's from, or will you continue to do what makes sense for Matchroom at the time?
No, look, we want to work with him to build him in the right market. So we'll sit down with him and his team and look at what's best for him. So Vegas was one opportunity we're looking at, but there's some other places that we're also looking at. We're doing a show. We're going to be announcing a show in a new market soon as well. So we're looking at various places to really build these stars. And so we'll work with Devin and his father Bill and Devin Haney Promotions to find the best place for him.
Well, Matchroom's very invested in the heavyweight division outside of Anthony Joshua. Obviously, you have this very good Croatian in Filip Hrgović. I'm actually glad you guys signed him. We had to use YouTube and streams to watch him. Now we got to see him this Saturday on Dazn. We didn't get a lot of time. Greg Corbin didn't put up too much Filip made easy work of him. What's next for Filip, and what can we expect from him?
Yeah, look, Filip will get out very soon. He's a young fighter. We need to keep him active. And after that performance on Saturday, people want to see him again. Yes. Gregory Corbin's a real tough. He's a tough fighter. He got caught with a perfect shot, but Filip's a real talent. I think we'll have to. He's another one who's going to want to move very quickly. So we're going to keep him busy, and we'll have news on his next fight very soon.
The reason I ask is because I believe he's ranked number 17 in the WBC. He has that WBC Intercontinental that he won from Amir Mansour. And I wanted to know, would you guys keep him going in the WBC rankings, or would he be better suited in the rankings that leads him towards a Joshua fight, which makes things in-house?
Yeah, look, we want these guys in all the rankings. That's our job, to get them the best possible shots. I think a fight with Filip and Anthony is one that can definitely happen, but down the line, Anthony's got his own fights he's looking at. He obviously wants the big one, he wants the Wilder fight. But all of these fights are fights that we can make down the line. Again, we'll work with our co-promoters, Team Sauerland, to do the best for Filip.
Before I let you go, we got to talk
sunny
about.
All of a sudden,
yes, it did come out, but hey, we wanted Memorial Day barbecue. We need the sun. Let's talk about Amanda Serrano. I don't know if you know, but she took to her social media. She isn't too happy with her contract with Dazn. She says she was promised the Katie Taylor fight, but she never received any sort of indication of when that would happen. She knows that Katie wants it. She wants it. She wants to know when. You see these social media tweets from her?
I haven't seen them. Yeah. No, I haven't seen them. I have to look at them, and I can answer in more detail.
Well, do you know when Matchroom's thinking of placing her in the ring with Katie Taylor?
Yeah,
wasn't that the goal? And there's 2 fights left on her deal, right?
Yeah, that's a big fight towards the end of the year. Katie's got a huge night on Saturday. Delphine Bassoon for the undisputed title. So she's got that fight to focus on. But that is definitely a fight that we were looking at towards the end of this year.
And is there any talks of anything for Serrano before the Katie Taylor match? Like for next coming months or anything? Because we haven't seen her since the last time.
Yeah, if we can get everything lined up. I haven't seen the what you're talking about, though, from the social media remarks. So I can't.
Well, outside of that, is there any plans for a future fight for her?
We've got plans. We've got it all locked in to possibly make the right fight. So, we'll see details very soon.
Okay, if you're not pressed for time, you want to give any comment on the Dillian Whyte Tyson Fury WBC?
Yeah, I think it's a great fight. It's a huge fight.
You think it'll actually happen?
I don't know whether. Dillian Whyte will fight him. I don't know what Tyson Fury's plans are, but Dillian shouldn't have to fight someone else for another. He's been at number 1 with the WBC for a long, long time now, nearly 2 years. So he shouldn't have to. But as you've always seen with Dillian, he is there to fight anybody. He will take on the biggest tests. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But it's definitely a fight. He's got Oscar Rivas on July 20th in London. That's definitely a fight Dillian's up for. as he said himself.
According to the headlines, you guys petitioned to have that be the final eliminator instead of Fury and Dillian White. And Mauricio actually said that on our show, but it never came down. So has the Rivas White fight been rejected as the final eliminator by the WBC, or have you not heard back from them?
I think Eddie's working closely with the WBC, Eddie and Dillian's team, obviously, to get the best outcome for this fight on July 20th.
The reason I asked is because we had Deontay Wilder on the show the day before yesterday, and he said, he has not been giving Dillian that shot, so he said, Dillian just needs to keep winning.
Yeah,
so it doesn't seem...
The right thing, he shouldn't have to, like, he's done everything he has to do to get it. So Dillian obviously has to keep winning now to keep that fight alive. But he shouldn't have to have another fight to get that shot. He should have had that a long time ago.
Well, that leads me back to the petition then. So, how strongly do you feel WBC will rule in favor of Rivas White as the final eliminator?
As I say, Eddie and the team are working very closely with them to make get the right and best outcome.
All right, Frank, I know you have plenty of people. Thank you so much for the time.
If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.